We talk about self-care on this show a lot, and one of the ways I'm able to better take care of myself is by finding ways to create more time, and I do that by knowing when to delegate. My assistant turned manager, Brandy, who has her own episode, by the way, it's number 53, knows all about that. The number one rule to delegating is knowing what absolutely needs to be created by you, and then knowing which things someone else might be better at, or which things someone else can do easily. And when I need something done outside of my and Brandy's scope, I use Fiverr. Fiverr.com is a super cool professional marketplace where you can find contractors all over the world to help you do the little things that you need help with or that require a special skill set like creating podcast cover art. I use Fiverr for that all the time, and I've always been happy with the work. And each virtual professional on Fiverr also has comments and rankings so you can see who is consistently providing great work. It's a really wonderful solution to buy back some of my time and get the stuff done that I need to move forward on a project. If you're needing some more time in your schedule, I highly recommend finding ways to delegate and maybe finding your own virtual assistant, like mine was Brandy, who's now a manager, or copywriting, or maybe podcast cover art, or anything else that you might need that you should be delegating. I have my very own Fiverr link in the show notes that will take you right to it. So take a breath, click the link in the show notes, and spend that extra time for yourself. Speaking of more time and self-care, I have a freebie for you. If you're like every single other person on this planet, then you might be looking for ways to get some time back into your day that you can then spend doing whatever else is at the top of your list that you value. Maybe it's spending more time with yourself or loved ones, or maybe it's more time for that project you're waiting to begin. To be honest with you, I was struggling with this and looking for solutions. So I spent some time trying different things in my day and business, and I found some solutions that were game changers. So I broke it down into 3 easy strategies that I am sharing with you for free. Go to moretime.avanthousemedia.com and download it to your computer for free, or just click the link in the show notes to start relieving some stress and adding some more of that precious time back into your day. If you're finding yourself making excuses to not start that thing that is on your heart, like a podcast maybe, then this is calling your name. No more excuses. It's totally free, and we need your voice in this world. moretime.avanthousemedia.com, or just click the link in the show notes. For me, and maybe for many of you, December is a time to let go a little, calm the schedule, reset and renew, and find ways to get inspired and set intentions for the upcoming new year. So for the next few weeks, we'll be sharing episodes that are focused on resetting yourself, simplifying, and creating small steps towards what your next intentions are. Take this time to honor yourself and to honor what you'd like to create for yourself and the world you influence. I hope you enjoy these Begin and Be Bold collection of episodes to help you slow down and build a process to serve your creation. Enjoy. You know what? There's really no finish line when you're really engaged in a process. You get to the next level.
It all begins by understanding the mind.
I want to be happy now. I don't care about the future. I want to be happy right now.
You are not alone. You are never, ever, ever alone in this.
It's helped my voice grow and given me freedom to be creative on my own.
I'm Christina Barcy. Welcome to Be Bold, Begin, a podcast dedicated to you, the creative, the healer, and the innovator. The topics and conversations we have here are designed to help you discover what might be getting in your way and offer you tools, techniques, and guidance to move through them.
I live in the imposter's body more than I live in my own body. I don't have to feel like I don't deserve this.
This is where creativity and healing intersect.
If you decide to be bold and begin, you have the opportunity to feel humbled and empowered. I totally believe that.
I'm a certified Kaizen Muse creativity coach, a certified Reiki energy healer, and an entrepreneur, artist, and presenter. I will share with you my experiences, my proven tools and techniques that helped me and my clients and loved ones shift and expand in the areas they most desired. This is a gentle and open space where you will hear how others are being bold to encourage you to begin your own journey or expand the one you're on. This is Be Bold Begin. Hey there, creatives. Today, we're going to jump right into something a little more practical, because when you're going through a process that ends up being day to day, it's not always inspiring, it's not always fun, and it's not always this amazing experience that feels ignited and light and beautiful. Sometimes it feels like the day to day, but that's part of it. That's okay. And as long as you can see the light at the end of the tunnel and you know that you're getting there and you're taking small steps and you're not getting overwhelmed and you find ways to keep going, then you're okay. You're normal if you're feeling a little run down or even like you're not finishing everything you want to finish. Maybe you don't feel accomplished at the end of the day. And then that kind of takes the goodness at the end of our daily light, the daily end of the tunnel. So I have a little trick for you, something that I love, because you can do it at any time. You could do it more than once throughout the day. You can do it once a week. You can do lots of things with this little exercise. And it comes back to the idea of giving yourself gratitude and credit for what you are accomplishing, and acknowledgement and awareness. And those things are huge. Acknowledging what you're doing, being aware of what you're actually accomplishing, even if the steps feel small, and giving yourself the gratitude and the permission to feel accomplished, even when you may not be finished, because that's the nature of the process. You don't really finish something every single day if you're going through a process that has many steps. So it's still important to feel good about what you're doing each day, because that is going to help you keep going. So here's the exercise. It's called a credit report, and you're going to get a piece of paper, and you're just going to write down all of the wonderful things that you accomplished today. And I'm going to include things like waking up on time, or doing something physical for yourself. Maybe it's yoga, going for a walk, any little thing that you did that you're trying to include. And maybe that's not your journey. Whatever it is that you're trying to include in your journey that may be difficult for you, like flossing. I know that sounds silly, but you know what? It's kind of hard to do that every single day if that's not something that is part of your daily thing. There's lots of things that we struggle with that are smaller than the big things sometimes, like just the little routines, getting to bed on time, not drinking too much coffee, I didn't go back for that extra cookie, whatever it is, those things can be on the list as well. In addition to, I checked off the first thing on my list today, or I did finish that thing I was working on yesterday. I finished that today. I got through all of my emails, whatever you did. And maybe you're just in the middle of your day. How was your morning? What have you accomplished so far? And just take a moment to write that list for yourself. And it can be as short or as long as you want. And just when you're done with that, take another moment to acknowledge how it felt to do it. Because this exercise doesn't always feel great at the end. That is normal as well. It can feel really triumphant. Like, wow, I didn't realize that I did that much. I didn't realize I'm actually doing really well in this department that I feel like is such a struggle. But you know what? I didn't struggle with it today. And I didn't take a moment to acknowledge that for myself yet. And I'm doing that now on this piece of paper. And wow, that feels really good. Or it can feel like I couldn't think of anything. I didn't get to all the things I wanted to get to. In fact, I didn't get to much. Why was that so hard, and how does that feel? And then you've got to ask the question, why? Why did that happen? Why was it hard for me to think of things that I did or didn't do? And what maybe got in the way of me getting to the things I wanted to get to today? So it can either be this wonderful acknowledgement and giving yourself gratitude, or it can be a wonderful place of awareness and questioning why. Why is this hard for me right now in the process of my commitment to my creative process? And maybe it's something you put away and you don't do again for a while because you're still figuring out the answers to those questions. And that is okay also. Or maybe you love this exercise and you're like, great, I have another tool I can do for myself where I can show myself some gratitude, acknowledge what I've been accomplishing, because who else is going to do it for you? Not everybody knows all the little things you do in your day to get to where you want to go. Not everybody understands where you're trying to go and what it takes to get there. But you know who does? You do. So give yourself some credit for making those strides, as big or small as they might be, especially if they're small, because those little steps are the ones that really lead you to the next part, to the next step, to the finish line, whatever that finish line is. And you know what? There's really no finish line when you're really engaged in a process. You get to the next level, and then there's another level to get to. But that, as soon as you can engage in that idea that you're not going to arrive in this wonderful place and then feel like you're finished, because then what? Then what do you want? Then what do you do? That can be really shocking. So keep in mind that you're just striving to the next level of a bigger vision, because your vision, you give yourself space to have an even bigger vision than you have now. So that is something to consider as well. Not to overwhelm you. I hope that's not overwhelming. But for now, just give yourself that space to credit yourself, acknowledge the little things in all areas of your life. And if that's really, really hard and you're having trouble with that, that's okay as well. That's normal. That kind of leans towards the perfectionism areas that may be coming up. I struggle with that as well. But then you must ask the questions, why? Why am I feeling this way? Why was that exercise hard for me? What might be coming up? And then if that's really where you're at, another step would maybe be to journal about those feelings that are coming up and why that was difficult for you. And just sitting with that and letting that wash over you, letting it come through you, in and out. And practicing a process of releasing it. Same thing when you're done being grateful and gratitude and the credit report. You put that out there, you release it, and then you can start over again. So it's something you can do anytime. Another little trick is sometimes I mail myself a little note reminding myself to do something really nice, or giving myself a nice compliment or an affirmation or some little surprise if I'm feeling really down and unacknowledged and unseen. It's a nice way for me to remember that I have control of how I feel and I get to do things for myself. It's like mailing your future self, the person a few days ahead from where you're sitting and standing right now, and reminding them, hey, guess what? Sit down, acknowledge yourself, do a credit report, color with some markers, or tell yourself how great you're doing. Because you have that power to harness any emotion or feeling or happiness or whatever it is you're trying to access, peace, calm, all of that. You are the only one that can tap into that for you. So why not give yourself a little gift? It's kind of a little reminder as well. All these little reminders are really fun. So credit reports are a fun reminder and moment that you can have with yourself about how you're doing. It's a little check-in. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing week. I'll see you later. Thank you for listening to People Begin. We hope that these episodes are helping inspire and empower you to take your next steps towards whatever you're thinking of creating. And if starting a podcast is what you're thinking of creating, then I would love to have you in my brand new private Facebook group, Unleash Your Podcast Niche, a podcast learning community for the aspiring podcaster who cares about creating an authentic message and making an impact with podcasting. Join us for live opportunities with me and meet other creatives like you who are at the same stage. There's a link in the show notes to join us. Happy creating.